put after this and just give them a preview of what we just.
I'm gonna tell you this. I've
did.
never been a fan really of a camera, of social media, anything. I that's why our name is the Shadows. I don't think you are you the same way.
No, I really can't live without it. Like, once I delete it, it's like, okay, that was a thing.
That's all
it was.
So it's hard for us to come up here and say, you know what, let's talk in front of the camera, blah blah blah. But
because sometimes we feel as though some of the things we say is so powerful, we shouldn't say it on camera. And some things we write is really powerful that we shouldn't say that. We shouldn't write that on social media. But who's going to know anything that we know, but we keep it to ourselves?
Yeah, Nate, we just came to a conclusion, enlightenment, or I guess a word from Hashem saying, it is time. It is time, it is time, it is time. So, hey, we're here now. So let's talk.
Continuing with the topic of the gates are open, 400 years. And I'm just going to add this part. When that 400-year calendar clicks, when that clock ticks or clicks or whatever type of
analogy you want to use,
saying, when it happens this spring, this April, it means a lot for these gates that's going to flood open. They will close. What the closing of these gates means, you can reference back to Romans 11:11. 1, 1, 1, 1.
New task. That's one good verse though, for sure.
And it basically spoke about Gentiles being grafted into Israel through their curses, through their slumber, through their stumbling of transgression.
And it's been the time of the Gentiles for a long time.
400 years, oddly.
It's been a long time. And this has been the time of, Nate, where you guys supposed to come into the fold. Where you guys supposed to come to the one true living creator. This has been your time to shine, if you want to use a quote, your time. Some of you have, some of you haven't. Most of you haven't, unfortunately.
And I'm just going
to everything is prophesied.
You guys had thousands of years since the time.
Because I was going to say it's been more than 400 years.
Yeah,
it's been a little while.
I'm just saying, in America they had 400 years to really use the technology. You get to see the people of the book face to face. You have 400 years with the people of the book face to face, living among them, to come and realize what God has done. And most of you have not realized that to this day.
It's because your fathers and your forefathers and the ones that you idolize hidden the truth from you. Hidden the truth from you, went under your noses. And it's because you wasn't vigilant enough to want to seek out the truth. Because you was too prideful. We spoke about pride. Pride has led you to where you are now.
What can they do now?
Humble yourself. That's the only way
it's going to be a hard thing to do. It's hard for people to humble themselves and say, you know what?
And do not hate your brother. Do not hate your brother. Do not be jealous or envious of your brother. Love your brother. That's the only way. That's the only way.
Stop being hateful and jealous of your brother. And that secret jealousy, that's not Cain. That's not Esau. That's not Judas type stuff. Those spirits are closely related. Closely, if not the same spirit. And that's not a good spirit. And you can tell the type of spirits that are inhabiting some of these people because you can look at their results. You can look at their actions, their behaviors. Those are all results.
You have to humble yourself. Have to paint yourself with humility. Because you do not want it done forcefully upon you. That's the only way.
When they say through Israel's transgression, the Gentiles are being grafted in.
Being saved.
Meaning the gates were closed.
Yeah.
While the Gentiles had time to be grafted in. Meaning, these thousands of years, and now the last 400 years is when it starts to click. Everything starts to come true. Your descendants are now really enslaved in the land that is part of a stranger's because they took over the land. Now things are starting to line up and starting to make scary sense. Scary sense.
You
now
can
we
feel
gotta
it.
realize.
You can feel it. Hey,
you can't. It's like you don't know what day you're gonna die, so you don't know when these gates are gonna open. But we're trying to tell you in April, in the Hebraic New Year, those gates are going to be flooded open. And once it's all flooded open, the Gentiles are not going to be grafted in anymore. Their time is going to be up.
And
I want to say more, but I'll let you come in.
I don't really want to say anything else, but just.
I mean, just tell the Gentiles what they can do. We still have time right now.
I see death, not just to the Gentiles, but to the world.
Say that. You can't say that. Block that out.
But it's real. I can't. It's hitting me so hard.
You can't say that though.
All right,
definitely not on YouTube. They're gonna use that straight against us.
That's gonna be edited out. Yeah. But what I see is just, Nate, look for humbleness. Look for peace.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it will be some Gentiles still able to be grafted in, but the only way they're going to have is if they humble themselves and go to a true Israelite that is not asleep. Because our people are asleep. You can't go to any Israelite on the streets and try to get redemption. Go to an Israelite like us to try to get redemption. Go to the ones that you know not only had the physical but the spiritual.
And honestly, I don't know where to point you guys to. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of my people. You may want to say that are not completely awakened.
No, they're still asleep.
And
they're still in their transgressions deep, head deep.
And we can't vouch for them at this moment. So, if you want to be humbled, seek out humbleness. Seek out that frequency, that vibration, because you know it, you feel it. And when you know it and you feel it and you see it, that's where you go towards.
But increase to those that can see through the slumberness of our people, the sleep of our people, the curses of our people, and say they wasn't like this all the time. To say, where did these people come from? To say, how were these people already even here before us? To say these things. If Africa, all man originated from the motherland, how were our people natives to America? And some of our people came from the transatlantic slave trade. How? How were they categorized as all Negroid people, and why? These are deep questions only a humble person will ask, that looks beyond the sleep, the slumber, the transgression, the wickedness.
You wanna know what's something?
Mutilated Negroes.
You wanna know something that's funny? Love and hate. Love and hate, love and hate, love and hate. Hate is truly love that can't be expressed in the right way. Because we got to remember, all things are one. Love and hate, everything comes back to a oneness. So the hate that we are being seen is because of love that can't be expressed in the right way. So we need to learn how to love correctly. And that will eliminate all our hate. If you feel that hate within inside yourself, don't be afraid to address it, to look deep into it. Because hate is just love.
You talk to that root spirit of racism, aren't you?
I'm talking to a lot of root spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Peace out.